All right.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Phoenix Podcast.
I'm
Today,
Tiffany.
okay,
I'm Savannah Gouch.
and I'm Andrew.
Today we're going
So,
to be talking about Andrew.
and Marvel vs. DC.
Yeah, Marvel vs. DC.
This is a little bit much, but okay. So, do y'all have the questions, or do y'all just have them in memory?
Yeah, we have our questions. We've already prepared. What do you think we do, Andrew?
I don't know. Just stare at the screen and talk.
Okay, well, first, what's your favorite Disney princess?
Mulan. I'll definitely say Mulan.
Yeah, you can say Mulan. All right, so Marvel or DC?
Okay, I'm quitting now.
You had to choose, like, it's a life or death situation. There's someone holding a gun to your head, and they say Marvel or DC. Which would you say?
I'll just punch him in the face, but DC. I have to go DC.
Okay. And what are some personality traits you have?
I don't know how good this is, but I'm annoying. No, but some people say that I'm humble. I don't know if that's true or not. Yeah, I don't know if that's true, but that's what people say. I'm sometimes nice when I'm not being bullied, but hey, you can't say anything, Savannah.
I didn't.
Fair enough, but I don't really know any of my personality traits, just what everyone else says, It's just one of those things that everyone else says what they think, but seriously, you're introducing your cat. Hey, go ahead. We need to introduce your cat.
Hey guys, this is Sassy. Look how cute she is. She's staring at the food bowl right now.
Okay, next question. Or do you not have any more questions?
Oh yeah. How many, if you have pets or any plants, what kinds do you have? What breed, species, and how many?
Okay. So I have a 4-year-old dog, which is a Beagle Schnauzer mix. Then I have a Calico cat, which is 4 years old, I think, or turning 4 this year. And I have 11 chickens. I'm a small-time farmer, but and I don't know what species they are, so do not ask, please. And then I have trees outside.
Chickens?
I have oak trees and pine trees.
Wouldn't that be their species? Chickens?
No, I am not telling you every single species of chicken I have.
That would be breed, not species.
Species, breeds, whatever. I can't English, okay? We already stated this. So for those who don't know me, which is pretty much everyone watching this, I can't speak. So please do not judge me.
We're judging you hardcore, Andrew.
I just know from the start, there's going to be people in the comments like, person's name, what they said, future in the video, going back on what they said. That's always what happens.
Like Little Cincy?
I don't know what you're talking about, but I guess yes. Okay.
Those of you who watch Little Cincy, you know what we do. We torture that poor girl. Little Cincy, you can't touch my walls.
Yeah, I don't get the reference, but okay. So, on to the actual topic of today, Marvel versus DC. So, so we've already stated this in the last video, but go ahead. What is your favorite Marvel and DC character?
Comment below. We're no longer asking you. We are telling you. Comment.
Tell them how I got the dinosaur to chomp on my berries.
Okay, so like she was saying before she got interrupted, comment down below, and also we're gonna go over it again. My favorite. I forgot about this character, but I'm sort of changing it up on y'all. My favorite DC character is and then I just forgot. What's his face?
Flash.
No. Y'all go ahead. It might come to me.
Superman,
No,
Supergirl, Batman. That's about all I know.
that's all you know. Well, I'll stick with Arrow and John Constantine for now. And my favorite Marvel is Doctor Strange. Savannah?
Okay, so my favorite Marvel character is definitely Black Widow, who they, killed off.
Depression sets in.
And favorite DC character has changed. I think it's Supergirl now.
Okay.
So
Tiffany?
I know I said Batman last time, but I'm beginning to think Flash now. But, Sorry, my dog's sitting right there begging for food.
Okay, and Marvel? Or no, that was DC. What's Marvel?
Oh, that's hard.
Yep, I just looked in both cards again.
Andrew, you go first.
Already said it. Me and Savannah already said ours. Okay, so since we got that out of the way, and because Tiffany will eventually think of it and just blurt it out in the middle of the episode, let's move on.
Superman and Iron Man and Captain America. Bam, done.
Superman's DC, not Marvel.
Not Superman, Iron Man, Spider-Man. Sorry, I can't think today. I meant Spider-Man, Iron Man, and Captain America. I did not mean anything other than that.
I am just confused right now.
Forgive me.
Savannah just looks like she's dead inside, tired of life, and me and Tiffany are delusional and delirious. I don't know, everything.
Overhyper.
All the above.
Hyper.
So let's actually get started on the episode. So Marvel versus DC. Now, before y'all go on a big rant in the comments saying Marvel's better, DC's better, this is not a competition.
Yes,
Okay.
it is. That's entirely what their companies are about.
All right.
Do you want a war in our comments? If anyone's going to comment.
When you put,
Yes, I
say,
do.
Marvel, and then you put Versus, and then you put DC, that's a competition. There's no other way of saying it. If you're putting a Versus in the middle, you're doing these two competing against each other.
No, but I'm saying, do you want to look at our comments and see 50 comments of just people saying, no, Marvel's
Yes,
better, no,
I do.
First
DC's
off,
better?
I
it's
wanna
not
see
going to
why-
happen.
I want
But
to
when people
Hey
I
are
really
guys,
want to
listening,
see
hey guys, please
why
prove
they think
Savannah
one is better
wrong
than the
and
other. It's
when
their
she says,
opinion, and I'd love to read about it.
Please.
I dare them to challenge me because I enjoy talking to someone about
okay,
this type of stuff.
2 things. Prove Savannah wrong and actually comment, and 2, beat Tiffany.
To what?
Beat Tiffany.
What?
I said beat Tiffany. Okay, so y'all want to talk about DC or Marvel first?
DC. Let's
DC?
get that over with.
Well, I thought you liked DC
Best
more
for
than
last.
I like DC, but Marvel's better.
Marvel.
Yeah.
I feel
Oh yeah,
insulted.
Andrew, just in case you
should.
forgot, there's 2 Marvel people against 1 DC. Good luck.
Hey, for everyone who is watching and is a DC fan, I'm with you. So, actually,
He's in a DC versus Marvel
Oh, podcast. Your podcast.
Yep, you can hear my parents in the background.
okay, Savannah's muted right now, but so DC. So we all said our favorite DC characters. Now state why and why you think that why they're your favorite.
I'll go first. Okay, so I like Black Widow the best because
Black Widow's Marvel.
We're
We're talking about DC. You said you want to get DC first and done one over with.
Wash my hands.
no,
We're saving the best for last, Savannah.
I swear, you just said explain why they're your favorite character.
I said we're doing DC. Explain why.
So we
What
picked a
is-
DC character that we like the best out of all the DC
I said
characters.
why is your favorite character?
Why?
Great.
Why is Supergirl your favorite? Okay. Okay, I'll go first then. Just in general, Green Arrow, like, so Green Arrow is just my favorite. Green Arrow and John Constantine are just my favorite superheroes, but they also have their enemies are also one of my favorites. Deathstroke is awesome, but the funny thing about Deathstroke is he's pretty much the same as I'm forgetting everything today. Why do I keep thinking of Daredevil? It's pretty much Deathstroke is the same as Deadpool. There we are. He's pretty much the same as Deadpool, just Deadpool has regenerative capabilities, and he was pretty much tested on. But the TV show really made me fall in love with him, just because I did not like the comics version of him as much, and I really did not like the beard he had. Sorry. But just the overall sort of darkness of his character, because I've always liked darker TV shows and characters and comics, sort of gets the edge for me.
This one here,
Also, John Constantine, the fact of,
I can lift up.
like, as you could tell, there's a trend. I like Doctor Strange and John Constantine just because I like all the mystic arts and stuff. I'm just a little weird in that sense, but first of all, there's just the storyline of John Constantine and how he.
Wait, I
with
thought
that
you
is
were
really
supposed to
cool.
be explaining why this character is your favorite, not.
Yeah, I was explaining. It's because I just like his story and how his. Do you want me to go into more depth?
No.
Okay, that's what I thought. But I'm just saying,
No.
I just like, I just like how his character's played out and how his background sort of fits with him and how he lives with that. That's why I like him. You go ahead, Tiffany.
Wait, so my turn?
Yeah.
Okay. So my favorite DC character is Flash, but what I like about it is like
Is that one doing the same thing? No.
I don't know. I haven't really gone too in depth with the other heroes, so my opinion is a little bit biased to me. The only TV series I've watched is Flash and Supergirl, and I've watched all the Superman, like most of the Superman movies. So I guess my opinion is a little bit biased, but I like how they played Flash and like the characters around him in the TV show.
Savannah?
So I like Supergirl, but I think, like, if you're talking about comic books, more specifically, I really like Nightwing. I like Supergirl because, like, her story's cool, like, her background's cool. And I kind of feel bad for her sometimes because I feel like she's just living in Superman's shadow. But she kind of, like, changed her fate and stuff. And I only watched, like, the first, like, 2, maybe 3 seasons of it. But I really liked her character and like even her appearances in like other shows. She was still really good, and I really like Nightwing. Because he's kind of like a darker background, and like it's cool seeing him act on that and like act on like trying to find a solution to his personal problems. So yeah, that's why I like his comic books a lot.
Okay. Movie, TV show, or comic book?
From DC specifically,
Yes.
like our favorite of each, or just like if you had to pick one.
Which one's your favorite out of those 3? Okay, I love the comics. They're so good, and there's just so many of them. I just prefer the TV show with how they're set and how well they follow the books. And I've always just liked TV shows more than books, even though I really like books. So it's just, I prefer the TV show and how well they fit together as a group. But there you go. Tiffany, Savannah, whichever one wants to go first.
I guess I'll go. So again, my opinion is a little biased. I was at the gonna start reading some of the comments, but then with everything with the virus and stuff, I'm not able to have access to the comics now as easily. But so far, out of all DC, I prefer the TV shows because it seems to get like in a movie, you're given an hour or 2 hours to go through everything. Well, the TV shows, you go through seasons and seasons and seasons and episodes from episode to episode. So you get to learn more about your character and you get to see more, and to have a person there instead of have a person acting it is a lot different from reading a comic, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Savannah, your turn.
So I prefer. I'm gonna say I prefer the TV shows from DC. Marvel doesn't really have a lot of like TV series with actual seasons and episodes, which like I understand. Like it'd be cool if they did, but it's fine how it is. So I do like how DC has like TV show series that I could binge watch or just like have something to follow along with, and it's not necessarily like a long movie that I would rather watch in one sitting, So I prefer TV shows specifically from DC. Although their comic books are good, I don't think they're as good as Marvel.
Okay, so now, you want to move on to Marvel, or do you want to talk a little more about DC? Does anyone have like any extra thoughts, questions, anything?
Well, we are not done with this conversation.
Oh,
okay.
Great.
So like DC, like I'm a big fan of like Nightwing specifically, and the comic books are good, but for me, Marvel's comic books compared to DC, there's like a lack of something in DC's comic books, because like comparing it to Marvel, like Marvel had a lot more they had a lot more like behind the scenes and like these really cool things like in the back of the book, or like even throughout the book. They would include fan art and stuff like that, and I thought it was super cool, and I liked how they like kind of incorporated everything. But DC didn't always do that with their comic books, and it didn't always feel like all inclusive and everything. Their comics are good, I guess, but I feel like Marvel's comics bring something else to the table, Like they're more enticing to the eye, like at first when you first look at it. Like Deadpool Kills Deadpool is a Marvel comic book, and it's like that title itself like gets you. And then if you looked at the front cover, it was just like so cool compared to like DC's like Nightwing, which was just kind of red and blue, and you couldn't really like decipher everything that was going on. But for somebody like me who like was recommended it, I was gonna read it anyway. But
yeah, and like I said in last episode, one thing I really like about DC is that they sort of they're like, okay, guys, these are the characters you want to work with, this is what your set is, and they just throw it to a director. So it's pretty much a mix of directors, and it all comes together into the movies. So it sort of separates the multiverse sort of theory. So you'd have, for example, the TV show Flash to the Justice League Flash. That, if you watch the Flash and all the other DC TV shows, you would have saw the Crisis on Infinite Earths, where it sort of showed Flash from the Justice League and Flash from the TV show meet up. And it was very awkward. So that's sort of
something that makes me mad, that they have like so many directors that can't figure out a way to sit down with each other and make it work out and plan these things out.
I understand that, but I also like the fact that they do it so they have a lot of different insights. So it's all sort of different. But I sort of agree with you there. But
having different views is great. Like I feel like it's really good and essential for like a TV show or a movie or even like a big series. But they just kind of...
I'm kind of with Savannah on this one too. Like, with Marvel, it's mainly the same director, or the directors at least talk to each other before they make the movie, and it's not different. The only difference from the comic is when the actors improv in there. Like, I am Iron Man, one of the most iconic phrases in Marvel
Was
Cinematic
improv.
Universe was improv. And to, like, everything meshes together, even if, like, everything before the whole multiverse idea in Marvel kind of meshed together to where you grown to understand the characters and stuff in a way. And like, it's the same with DC, but like all the different movies and stuff kind of go together, and like the different characters go together. Like, I can understand how the DC done it, and they did a great job with how they did it. I prefer the way Marvel did it.
Well, that's the one thing I like is sort of how, not really scattered, I wouldn't say really scattered, but I love how this is one of the reasons why I like DC more, is because Marvel is always set on a script. That's just how Marvel does it. I prefer it to sort of be a whole lot different from each other, sort of thing.
They
Like, you
weren't
still
set
have
on
the
the
same
script. They
idea,
just hadn't.
but it's all
There's a
different.
difference between following the script word from word and then having an idea, how you want this to go. Like, they had it from day one, from the first movie they made. They knew how it was going to end. They didn't have every single detail scripted out. They just knew that they wanted this to happen and this to happen and this to happen. We need to go through this way to get to this point and stuff. They didn't detail every single little word.
I just prefer DC for what they do. Simple as that. Okay, so y'all want to say why y'all prefer Marvel?
We kind of started.
Y'all already
saying why
did
we
say that,
prefer
didn't
Marvel.
y'all?
Well, we can talk about it.
Okay, so I do love Marvel. Marvel, they just blew
He
it
is a
all
Marvel
away.
fan.
Especially Daredevil. It's between Doctor Strange and Daredevil. They're both beautiful. I do have to say though, we were talking about the multiverse, and right after that conversation and stuff, I happened to be like, oh, why don't I just watch Doctor Strange? So I happened to look at it, and I was like, oh, well, this whole thing is pretty much about the multiverse. Their whole thing is they're drawing power from other dimensions, doing all that stuff. So I was like, dang it, I missed an opportunity. And also I also really like Daredevil and Doctor Strange just for the fact of it's like people with disabilities, sort of. That doesn't have to limit you. With Daredevil, he was blind, and yes, his senses were heightened like impossible, but it sort of shows that even people blind can still do stuff that other people would normally do, and that doesn't limit us. So, and Doctor Strange, his hands, nerve syndrome, yeah. So, but that's another reason why. So it's sort of like fits real world things while being impossible. So that went really deep. Okay, next.
Yeah.
Anyone tell about why your favorite character is why? Savannah, you touched on this already, but Tiffany? No, go ahead, Savannah. You were talking.
So I said this in the last episode, but I really like Black Widow because, like, growing up, she was like basically the only female on the Avengers team, and like that, like as a girl growing up, like that was just kind of like impactful, I guess, like seeing a ton of men like on a battlefield and then this one woman, you know.
And then she kicks butt.
Yeah, and then I had to go and kill her off. First off, let me just say this: I cannot stand Captain Marvel. Brie Larson as a person is awesome, and as an actress, she's great. But I really love Marvel. I honestly do. Huge fan ever since I was young. But for Infinity War to watch Endgame, Infinity War, and like that. Those two movies. This huge fight scene, you know. I don't know if they're able to win this or not. It's the last, out of heckin' nowhere, and it's like, it's okay, guys, I got you, and like saves the day. You
It's
know?
sort of glitched out.
And I'm just like, what? Oh yeah.
I
You guys
completely
are
agree
on my
with you.
screen now.
Like, you can't.
There we go. Okay.
I love the idea. I love the idea of having another female superhero. Like having a Black Widow was so great, and having like not only were you having your original, like I love the fact that you had I love the originals and how they set them up and they gave them their backstories and stuff. And I love how they had a female character that she is an original, and she's like, yeah, I understand they're trying to get new characters and like make it more new and closer and modern, but like they one of the phrases in the scenes is maybe we need a little bit of old fashioned. Like I kind of believe in that a little bit. Like, yes, I understand we need like new characters, whoa, but like add a little bit of the old fashioned, like the original characters, because that's what made Marvel. So why are they taking away the things that like created Marvel and gave everything that they have? Why are they taking them away? Like, why don't like I don't see why they're changing it so drastically. Like they're complete, like I understand change is supposed to come, but they're like completely flip-flopping.
Remodeling the house. I think it's probably because of the new phase that Marvel's taking. That might be why.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I agree with Savannah that I did not like how they played Captain Marvel with as just a pawn and not as like a character that needs to be like not feared but like worried about, because pretty much you need to focus on all the originals because that's what it all is about, like Tiffany was saying. And you need to bring all the new characters, yes, but you don't need to rely so heavily on one character. Yeah. And now you cannot hate on Scarlet Witch. You can just not hate on her. She's one of the best people in there.
Oh, I like Scarlet Witch, and I like how they kind of like how they added her in with the original character. That's what I would rather have than them killing off and then throwing in new characters. I like how they added her in, and they made you feel bad for her. They added in like things that have happened to her, and it made
her brother.
Like
yeah, so they sort of tie in her backstory with Ultron and stuff.
Yeah, they tied her in with the original characters, which made it easier for, like, compared to her and Captain Marvel. I'd pick watching her over and over and over because she was tied in with the originals. She wasn't just here's a new superhero and she's a woman, girl power, woohoo. Like, no, they like connected your storyline with the originals, and that's what I want personally. Like Spider-Man and how they added him in. They made you watch the father-son relationship that was almost there with Tony Stark and Peter Parker. It was perfect. Like if they're gonna add more characters, I'd rather them add it in and then slowly like add those characters to where they're with the originals, not with all this flip-flopping.
Yeah.
And
do you have anything to say about?
I know I'm all...
Oh, and also, for those who don't know who Scarlet Witch is, it's Wanda Maximoff, which was Vision's girlfriend until Vision died, which was one thing that y'all forgot to mention when you said who got killed off. How dare you forget Vision? He's
I
awesome.
didn't forget him. I'm mad. See, like they added a new character that everyone was getting to love and stuff, and then
And then
they
there's like,
ripped it away.
wait, okay, so the only character that's left that from the original is it's Thor, Hulk, and I think that's
There's
it.
Sam.
Well, he wasn't at the very beginning. It was
Oh yeah, well,
Hawkeye.
true.
It was Thor, Hulk, Hawkeye, but he keeps retiring and coming back.
Mhm.
I think that's it. It's just those three. Well, Nick Fury was technically a part of it because he made it, but Nick Fury will live forever, pretty much.
Yeah. And I don't know if you guys have watched it, but I watched the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and the way they brought back Phil Coulson was pretty cool. I like
Faked Phil Coulson's death.
that.
He
Yeah,
never actually died.
Well, technically died for a couple of days, but then was brought back to life by modern medicine.
It's not weird at all, you know?
Yeah.
So now, what would you like to see in the new Marvel that's coming out in the next few years? What would you like to see, other than the ones that are already coming out, like Black Widow, Morbius? I really want to see Morbius. If y'all don't know who he is, it's pretty much the living vampire. It's a guy who has a blood disease, and he looks for answers through science, and comes out that he is actually goes into a cave full of magic, which turns him into a vampire. Yeah, it's great. So I don't know his storyline that much. That's all I got from the trailer. But so it's Black Widow, Morbius, and the Eternals, Shaolin. No, it's not Shaolin. What's his name? I forgot his name, but I think that's also the guy. So Endgame, when Tony Stark's funeral, that weird guy that no one knows who it was, I think that was Shaolin. I don't think that's his name. Sha Chang? I don't know. I need to search it up. But so do not judge me on my English either, please. So it's between those four. So other than that, what do y'all want to see from the new Marvel? Personally, I want to see an origin story. Or no, we already have an origin story for her. But I want to see a story for Wanda Maximoff. I want to have her own sort of movie for her. But that would have to be weird because she would have to sort of leave the Avengers. Oh, we also have the Guardians of the Galaxy coming out, Volume 3.
Yeah. And that will be interesting with Thor.
With Thor. And with the new Gamora. Oh, yes. That's going to be very
That's
interesting.
going to be interesting. Very interesting. I can't wait to watch it. We're probably going to have to do a video of us watching after we watch Black Widow and
all those,
all these movies from now on.
Hopefully, Black Widow gets released right when it was supposed to be in movies because of all this crap that's happening in the world. Hopefully, that will just be released and we can just watch it.
So
They're gonna make you pay like $20.
So a word for our viewers, when we do talk about this, we will put spoiler alert, like tell you before we spoil the movie for you. So you'll have your warning. Just let you know.
Even though people still watch it because that's sort of how I am. Okay,
So I gotta say, we'll give you fair warnings beforehand. So if we spoil it for you, it's your own fault for watching the video.
Now, what are some things that you were very surprised about in Endgame and Infinity War? Me, I expected Thor to go into a depression state, but Fat Thor, I didn't expect. And also, the Hulk and Banner coming together, I did not.
A comment, I gotta say, when we got to watch Endgame like right before I got out of the theater, so the room was a little bit emptier, so we could be a little bit more dramatic with our reactions. And I swear my mom screamed no. Like it was as if like there was a funeral getting ready to go on when she saw Fat Thor.
Okay, so
She
when
said, and then she turned around and said, Captain America's my favorite now. And then she saw old Captain America, and she's just like, no.
so what do you think, Savannah? What was the most surprising to you? Do not say anything about Captain Marvel. Okay, nothing about Captain Marvel.
I mean, like, I didn't, like, I had thought of, like, my own ways, like, oh, how's Endgame gonna turn out in Infinity War, you know? And after watching Endgame, like, I was pleasantly surprised. And I was like, what are they gonna do in the next one? And then Infinity War came along, and I was so happy to see Black Panther and, like, them actually
part of it,
fighting
yeah.
in Wakanda. Like, that to me, I was like,
awesome.
this is gold. Like, this
Yeah.
is amazing.
Yeah.
I wish that.
And all their action in the fight scenes were amazing, like well written. So there were some like little mistakes if you were analyze it deeply, but like other than that, those few mistakes, that was so cool.
Yeah. It was pretty good.
I have to say, with the Endgame one where they had Ant-Man in the van for everything they did, how was he in the van and he popped up across the...
Okay, so
Wait.
this is so.
Like, I know they
love
probably
him.
filmed him moving, but they cut that, and it's like, what?
So pretty much what happened was Ant-Man was, of course, in the van for 5 years or 5 hours because of the
Mhm.
quantum realm. Pretty much, he actually, when he was in the van and it showed him in the garage, there was actually a mouse or a rat that stepped on the control panel. That's how he got out. Or are you talking about the very end or where he came back?
In the end, in the game, in the fight scene, like the final fight scene, like, are they gonna win or lose? Are they gonna get everyone back with Thanos? Because they had the van,
They
and
had
they
the
had
van,
Wasp,
and him and
and
Wasp.
Ant-Man were inside the van, and then they popped up somewhere else on the scene.
Like how like was it out of a 2-minute range or 1-minute range or 30-second range? Because they can get over
Right,
pretty
and then they did
fast.
a scene on them. Then they changed and did scenes on other people, and then they went back to scenes on them, and they weren't in the van anymore. So clearly, they probably moved and stuff. Like they were probably recording the whole scene, and had certain cameras on certain people throughout the whole scene, like the whole fight. So clearly, they pieced together all the different characters and stuff to make the glorious, I gotta say, very glorious fight scene that makes anyone go in awe and wish they were there. But
now, Black Widow, or no, not Black Widow, Black Panther's general, I forgot her name, but I know her actor was in Walking Dead, and of course that's my mom's favorite character now, other than Black Widow. But I just love how, like, I would like to see sort of a movie, even though they're probably not going to make it, of what happened while Captain America was away from the Avengers right after Civil War, because there was a very, very big gap, like a 5-year, if not a longer gap.
yeah, and like
I would love to see that, but they're probably not going to make it. But also, the thing is that when you think about it, because of that gap, you have so much missing. So, I totally forgot what was my train of thought. But so you lost all that time, and then you also lost like how did Scarlett Johansson dye her hair? Like that's not important, but like come on. So all of that sort of changed and just like the big cuts just made the movie like very far away. It's like
I know in Endgame they don't focus much on how Scarlet Witch is losing vision, or at least I didn't notice much.
They did.
They did? Okay.
Right before
I need to rewatch the movies. Right
before she was disappeared, she was sitting there crying over his body.
Oh wait, okay. See, I need to rewatch these movies, guys. I'm sorry.
Savannah, you look tired.
I am.
Did you sleep at all
lot.
last night?
I thought so.
Who's ready for
Mhm.
Easter tomorrow?
No one. Well, actually, I am ready for Easter, but it's just another day.
I'm ready for like a big basket of candy to just.
Yeah. No, it's not gonna happen for me. I'm just be sitting here.
Yeah.
So, anything else to cover? Savannah, you didn't really get to share your thoughts about what the future for Marvel is gonna share.
I think the future for Marvel.
Or what you would hope to see at least.
Well, okay, what I want to see is way different than what I think I'll see.
What, like Black Widow coming back to life?
Yeah, ideally.
That would be amazing.
I think
Yeah.
it's, well, of course it's
I'm
possible, but
just wondering. We never physically saw her body dead. We saw her falling down. So
no,
I'm just wondering
no, you
if
saw her.
maybe she's alive somehow.
She could possibly come back to life, but she was laying there on the ground with blood coming from her head. So I think she's dead.
But maybe, I mean, like, brain damage is brain damage, but, like, you know, like,
Brain damage is brain
that's something that I really want. I know that it's not possible. And I'm glad that
No,
we're,
it's a possibility, but
no, it's not, but okay.
coming back to life is a possibility. You've never
It's
seen anyone.
possible, but not for Black
We got
Widow.
the
Agent
past
Coulson
Aurora.
came back to life, Savannah.
Yeah, true.
But it's different for her
I
situation
still need
just
to watch the
because
last season of that.
it was different for her just because of Soul for Soul. But
Yeah, but I'm
And then they
okay.
try
I'm
to-
really waiting for the next Captain Marvel movies to come out so I can
Yeah.
watch them to see if I truly hate her still.
I just really hate her.
Yeah.
Uh,
And I'm also like waiting for like new characters because if Iron Man, Black Widow, and Captain
Captain.
America is
Reason why I'm saying-
retired or dead, then like Mr.
Okay.
Stark, Mr. Stark. Can you
Okay,
hear
yeah,
me,
I'm not.
Mr. Stark? Oh
I'm
my
not
god.
excited. I'm not excited for the new Spider-Man.
Oh, I'm excited for it. But I'm just saying that like whenever like Mr. Stark was
Okay,
like
this-
dying and Spider-Man
Spider-Man
was
Far From
like
Home, I have so many things I gotta complain about that. Like,
Okay, we're not complaining right now. We're letting Savannah talk.
sorry.
It's fine, but like that scene really hit me when like Spider-Man, like he was in his, oh my god, that boy was like crying basically. He is so
Okay.
upset. That hit me because I'm like, Iron Man, like frickin' Iron Man, he doesn't die. Like,
Something funny about that is stuff like that, and also during Infinity War when he was dying, he was like, I don't want to die, I don't want to die. He just continuously said that. I heard that he was actually mostly improving those things because that sort of helps him cry.
yeah.
So that just helps Tom Holland cry. So he improved all that, and it just pretty much touched a lot of people. But yeah, okay. I don't want to get off this. I don't want to get on a. I don't want to get on a rant of saying who the best Spider-Man and all that is. I prefer
Save
Andrew
that for
Garfield
another
over
episode.
Tom Holland. I prefer Andrew Garfield over Tom Holland. Just
I don't care. Tom Holland's hot.
Andrew
I think he's a
No,
great
he's-
actor. I
he's
can relate to
ugly.
him so
Andrew
easily.
Garfield, from like the age he did that, I gotta say, I have no complaints on him either.
okay. So to be honest, what I really want to see is actually no, they can't do that. A lot of the characters from the comics are overpowered, and by that I
Yeah.
mean
Deadpool, ideally, like that man is just such a beast. Okay, wait, if you read Deadpool versus Deadpool, like that, it's like wild, it's all over the place. But when it comes down to it, it's literally like there's so many different versions of
Yeah.
Deadpool, and he's so easily able to destroy all the other versions of him because he's so good. Like
Yeah.
I do not understand why they made him so good. I've never seen any of the Deadpool movies. I'm not allowed to.
same.
And like I don't really think I want to. My parents watched the first 5 minutes of the first Deadpool movie and absolutely hated it. So I think some people really like it though.
Oh,
So-
I just got a notification that Tom commented.
Oh,
Great.
really?
Great content, my guy.
Wow.
It looks like it was on the last episode. I'm not sure. Well,
Oh, Tom. Okay, by the way, guys,
Tom?
if you don't know, Tom is amazing. He is
Yes,
phenomenal.
Tom's our man.
Yeah, Tom's our
Like,
guy.
you've been hearing us rant about how great this Tom dude is. He is. Like, our last couple times we've recorded, we've been, like, saying, Tom, you're the man.
Yeah, honestly.
yes, we're gonna make an episode just talking about how great Tom is. No.
Yes,
Comment down below if you want to see that, Tom.
yeah.
No.
Tom, do you want us to rant about how great you are?
I'm gonna pretend like I'm sick for that. No offense, Tom. I just don't want to do a whole video talking about how great you are. No offense. Okay, so
You're just jealous.
to be honest, I would
A little
love to
bit?
see. I'm just overall excited to see the new Venom movie. Venom was
That'll be
amazing.
interesting.
Yes, Venom was so good.
And no, okay, I understand that.
Didn't
Okay,
we
I
start
totally
watching that at your
understand.
house,
Some of y'all are
for
hating
the
on Venom.
bonfire?
I understand some of y'all are hating on Venom because it's not rated R. I don't care. For a PG-13 movie, that was one of the best Marvel movies out there. End of story. It was amazing, hands down.
From the part I got to watch, I liked it. Because
Now-
I think I watched it at your house
Yeah,
at
you
the
watched
day of
part
the
of it.
bonfire.
Now,
And
I
it was
do
really
have to
good.
say, I do not know how they're going to make Venom and Carnage a PG-13 movie. I've been saying that forever. Just because Carnage represents his name. He is bonded with a serial killer, and he is angry at Venom and wants to kill everyone. So, I don't know how that's going to be PG-13 just because of how gory it's going to be. But, if they make a PG-13 and it's amazing, I'm going to be happy. So we have Venom, Spider-Man I'm not really excited about.
Wait, so they are making another Spider-Man movie?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Tom Holland.
But I haven't gotten dates. That's why I
Well,
didn't know.
think about it. Tom
Because
Holland's acting is
so,
not expired
here's
yet.
the thing. Marvel and then this other company, I think
Sony?
it's Disney, they're like fighting over Tom Holland. So like each of them
Sony.
get to use Tom Holland. Like you get to make 3 movies with Tom Holland, and then we get to make 3 movies with Tom Holland because they both want to come out with movies, both with Tom Holland in it, and he can't
Both of them,
do 6 movies at
like,
one
I
time.
gotta say, Tom Holland shouldn't be probably isn't complaining about this. Like, either way, work is work, and he's getting paid for.
Yeah, but
He's
you
gonna
have
get
to
paid for it.
remember, here's this young 23-year-old who's hot, needs to live his life. He's British. Like, he is ideal for a movie, especially playing the Spider-Man role.
He's
like,
ideal for fans.
Yeah,
the fans
yeah.
love him.
But also he's a
Everyone
great
needs-
actor, so it works out.
To be honest, a lot of people will probably agree with me on this. We need a movie for Samuel L. Jackson. We need it.
So
And if
can
y'all
I
know what I'm
say one
talking
thing?
about, I'm talking about the leader of S.H.I.E.L.D. himself. We need a movie for him. He is so awesome. We need a movie. I would love to see a movie because you sort of had a
I'd love to
backstory.
see for Spider-Man, since we've had like 3 or 4 people play as Spider-Man. I'd love to see them use a real 15-year-old, like 15, 16-year-old, like someone who's actually 15 or 16 to play as Spider-Man.
That's
Like,
gonna
that's
be
the thing.
hard.
Like, that's so hard because then you have to
Yeah.
custom make every single thing to fit that teenager's body. And also, like,
Like, yeah, I completely understand
That's
that,
even
and I completely
harder just
understand
because.
that it'll be really hard and stuff. But to
Pistol.
like use someone who actually can relate to the age group at the time when they do it, like to someone who can relate to them 100% because they're going through it right
Well,
then
to be
too.
honest, everyone has been through high school unless you've been a high school dropout. No offense. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying everyone can relate to
Yeah.
high school because you actually have to go through high school before you can drop out. 'cause
but
you have
I
to
think
be
that
16.
if you have someone who is closer to the age of, like, a 23-year-old guy who he's
Yeah.
not fresh out of high school, but he's been out of
Close.
high school, like he went through high
Well,
school, and it's
reason why
something
I'm
he's not
saying-
33 years old.
Can
where
we
it's
stop
not
arguing about
so
Spider-Man?
fresh in his head. So
Okay. Well, my thing with it is like, if they were to use a teenager, like that someone who's actually that age, right now, with all the technology that is out right now, that 15-year-old, we would be seeing how they react to technology, using it, because it's like they're going through learning to use this technology and stuff. Like even using 23-year-olds, when they were in high school, certain iPhones weren't even out yet that they're being using as if they're a teenager. Like certain technologies weren't out quite yet when they were in high school. And
Is this Spider-Man versus Marvel?
sorry,
Because it
can
sounds
talk
like
about it.
we're
It's part of
spending like 10
Marvel.
minutes to 20 minutes
it is
on
part of
Spider-Man.
Marvel. Spider-Man.
Okay, you need to stop
Okay.
complaining, Andrew.
I'll just sorry. But to be honest,
Do we need to get a teenage superhero for you to geek out about?
no,
That's a girl.
no. I will. I just want a Nick Fury. I want a Nick Fury movie. They did do a lot of background on him with Captain Marvel, but I just want a Nick
Yeah.
Fury movie. Come on, people. It's been since 2008 that Marvel's been making movies, and you have not made a Nick Fury movie yet. That's a problem.
That would be a really cool movie. Like
That's
all
a
about him.
problem. But because they didn't show how he got into the Shield, he was just an agent of Shield. So that
Like
I
a
think would
really
be nice.
top high age. Like if we were to see him before,
Savannah
he was
is like, what is happening now? Oh, okay, Savannah's back. We're good.
Okay, there we go.
You were just looking at the screen like, what is happening? Why am I alive right now? Why am I listening to this?
questioning your life.
What, do you not like Nick Fury?
I like Nick Fury. I also love the story about the scratch of the eye. A freaking like
I love that.
wild cat.
I love that cat. She's all. I just love the cat.
Hilarious.
Awesome.
Why don't we see the cat later? Like why when they left HQ? I wish they had a scene of them.
I
Like
don't know the
the
lifespan
first-
of that cat, but I'm guessing it's still the lifespan of a cat. It's an alien, but I think it still has the lifespan of a cat, which
no,
means it's
it
dead.
might have still like you.
Dead.
Picture this. You see the original Avengers movie. It's about to go down. Nick Fury notices that he forgot the cat, runs, drops the cat, then runs. That would have been perfect. I would have been dying and like,
Well, when you think about it, I know it's an alien, but it's still a cat. It's probably dead. Sorry.
no, we're going to say the cat's still alive.
Okay. So
See, that's what they can talk about in the next, in the Nick Fury movie, is the cat. Deal with
our
the
cat
cat
theories.
interview.
Our cat theories. Nick Fury. So what else? What I like to see? Oh, we didn't talk about what we would like to see from DC, so let's go back a few steps. What would you like to see from DC? Don't you dare look at me like that, Tiffany. What would y'all like to see from DC? I'm guessing Savannah would love to see a Nightwing movie, which I think everyone would love to see a Robin or Nightwing movie.
Do they have a Flash movie? Out of curiosity?
They're about to because the Justice League. Justice League, they're probably going to make their own solo movies soon.
That'll be interesting.
But what I want to see, which is probably what everyone wants to see because there's been so many Batman movies, and especially with The Dark Knight Rises with the Joker,
Mhm.
they were on the road to have a Robin, but they stopped and they didn't make a Robin movie. They need a Robin or a Nightwing movie. They just need
I
it.
think it would be great. I don't really think.
I know we're supposed to be done with Marvel, but I also want to talk about
Robin's
Morgan,
great,
Tony
but
Stark's
I don't-
daughter, eventually.
He's not.
What did you say, Savannah? You cut out. Was she cutting out for you, Tiffany, or can you hear her?
She's cutting out. Am I cutting in and out?
No.
To you guys?
Okay, go ahead, talk, Savannah. You're good now. Looks like at least.
So, I don't really want a Robin movie. Like, I feel, to me, like, Robin is kind of, that was cool, but, it's just kind of, is like a little too like childish for me. Maybe if they did like a grown up Robin. For me, I only saw Robin if I was watching a Lego Batman show or like some animated Batman
Oh yeah,
Robin
and
kind
it
of
makes
thing.
him seem like just a small little kid that's always in the way.
Yeah, I feel really bad for Robin. Like I think he's a great character and I really like him. But I
Yeah.
would like to see him grown up and I would really like
Well-
to see anything.
Or at least a teenager. Like
Yeah.
he
I
didn't
think a lot
he seemed like a
of people would.
to me he seemed like one of my nieces who are like 8 or 9 who's always in the way, you know?
Well,
And
if you
like,
saw, did y'all watch The Dark Knight or The Dark Knight Rises
I
with
watched
Bane
The
and
Dark
Joker?
Knight.
Well, if you saw at the very end, it showed that the detective was actually found his way to the Batcave because Batman quit his job, sort of, and because he was on the hunt. So the detective was actually going to take his place as Robin. So at the end, they just left that cliffhanger.
Well, Nightwing, if you read the comics, he does kind of take the place of Batman for a while he's on. Well, actually, it was Robin. Robin did it.
Well, Robin, and then it becomes Nightwing.
Yeah.
mhm.
So Robin took over for a little bit, and Nightwing kind of like met up with him, and he was like, "Dude, I can't do this anymore. Like, it's fun and everything, but he's like, I don't. That's not my job, and I want to go back to my life." So then they kind of swapped, and then Nightwing did it. But that to me was interesting. I liked watching that. And like that little time that like Nightwing kind of met up with Robin when he's a little bit older, I really enjoyed that. And like I thought it was cool. He's kind of filling Batman's shoes, but also I feel like that would torture me on the inside if I had to fill in for freaking Batman's shoes, you know?
Or like any superhero shoes, like even if you go to Marvel and stuff, like being an Avenger, your life is like the world is before you, and you're like being put in like any superhero. If you're
Or
being
the
replaced,
Justice League. Or,
yeah, like your life is no longer yours. It's you. Your first priority is to make sure everyone around you is safe. It's like becoming a police officer or becoming part of the FBI. Your life is not yours anymore. Your life is set to protect everyone else, and you deal with it
military, yeah.
because that's what you signed up for.
So, to be honest, I would like to see a Robin movie that sort of influenced him to turn into Nightwing. That would be sort of nice to sort of have, because they're making so many Batman movies. And they're not focused on like sort of the minor characters because it's always Batman and Joker. Always Batman and Joker. Even in the Ben Affleck version with Batman vs. Superman, you had his armor, or no, it was Robin's suit of armor, and it said, ha, 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 Batman, or something. Or it was something with the Joker. So it's always the Joker and Batman. There's nothing else about his other enemies or his other allies other than Superman and all that. So I would like to see a Robin movie or the Penguin or someone different. Now, Bane was a good addition, but I would like to see someone totally different in a Batman movie with Batman. That would just be nice, in my opinion. And I think Savannah's frozen because her eyes are a little too big for normal size. But that's just my opinion, so. Oh, she's gone.
Uh-oh. Well, that was a nice goodbye.
Okay, so
So
I don't want to end it without her, but
Mhm.
here, I'm gonna text her. I'm sorry, guys, we're having technical difficulties.
Yeah. So I gotta say, with what I'm saying with being filling in shoes, it's kind of like that with anything that where you are even in the entertainment industry and stuff, being an actor, your life isn't yours anymore because you know that you're gonna have fans who are gonna want to like track you down and see where you live, or always gonna want to like see you, or oh my gosh, he touched me. Like they're no longer human beings anymore; they're objects too. to society, it seems. And it's kind of, and there's a couple other jobs that are kind of like that, like being politicians. Your life isn't yours anymore. Any mistake that you made 20, 40 years ago is going to be put up in the news. And this isn't about Marvel and DC anymore. It's about like
Politics, celebrities.
being on the media any way, shape, or form, it seems.
I don't like that. I would love to be a celebrity because you're rich, but that's the only thing I'd like to be a celebrity.
Yeah, like I gotta say, I went and did an acting class over last summer before high school, and so I enjoyed it. I loved acting in improv and stuff. Like I got to do memorize a scene and do the scene with another girl, and it was amazing. It was a scene about these two sisters, and one's like the goody two-shoe sister, the other one was like the bad one, and it was amazing. I loved it, and I got to improv a little bit when I forgot a line or something. I loved it, but then I started getting ahead of myself and thinking, well, what if I do get, like, I know it might be 10 years from now before I get, like, become famous enough to where people will track me down and stuff, but I'm giving up my personal life, like my privacy, just for something that I don't even want to do as a full-on career. That would be more so as a hobby, and I don't want that, and I didn't want that. So even though I got the chance, I was given the chance, told, oh yeah, next June I want you to like practice, learn, take some more acting classes and practice on your improv, and I'm pretty sure you got the looks, you got the personality, or when you get brave enough and you get that 20 seconds of courage, you can do it. But I kind of thought about it, and it's like this, even, I don't want to lose my privacy. My privacy, like my personal time, it's the introverted part of me that's like, I don't want to lose my privacy. I don't want to have to pay millions of dollars to protect my privacy.
Another thing is along the lines of like losing your privacy because like you get famous and stuff like that. It's really hard. Think of how many people are on the earth, you know, and like I've read a lot of books about success and like how does that come about? How does somebody just happen to get famous and happen to get big? And a lot of things that play into that is timing. So like Frank Sinatra, some other major musical artists had just died, and Frank Sinatra was, highly influenced by that artist. So that artist dying had a lot to do with Frank Sinatra becoming famous and starting to do what he loved and getting into like that region.
I also got to say, there's a lot of music artists and actors who have committed suicide because they couldn't because all the pressure of, like, I'm pretty sure there's other people who got famous or became influencers and stuff because they no longer had their privacy. They felt empty and stuff, and they ended up committing suicide and stuff because they couldn't stand living in that position. Because once you become famous or an influencer and stuff, you can't get out of it. You're stuck in it. And some people don't even see you as a human anymore. You're like some sort of slave in their eyes, or they want to touch you. They want to smell you. They want to have your autograph and stuff. And you're like no longer, in a way, they don't treat you like a human being. They don't give you your human rights anymore.
Can we stop being depressing for a second?
Sorry. I have to say that.
You're discrediting some people's dreams, my good sir.
No, I think
I know.
I think it's
a reality
you just need to
spoken
like.
about.
I understand you're trying to give everyone a reality check, which is good because that's what you're gonna get when you grow up. But you're just facing the downsides, which is.
That's.
Well, that reality check before you get into something like that, you need to think about it.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I'm glad somebody's telling them. But another thing, like, to think about is Frank Sinatra tried to commit suicide 5 different times.
Mm-hmm.
5 different times. And he's an amazing artist. A lot of people think, why would he want to do that? His dad had just died. Like, all this stuff was going through his head.
Yeah, and he's no longer
Continuously.
treated like a human being.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that for us to like expect people to not have emotions, you know, is like not okay.
That's
But it's not as common nowadays, I don't think. I think that
No, I don't think it's as common because people, there's been so many things like that happen, and that and there's other people that are trying to reach out to these people and like to make it obvious and known to the public that they're human beings too. They have a life, they have dreams and wishes, and they deserve as much privacy as we do.
another thing you have to take into account is drugs and alcohol and other influential things, because once you have money like that, a lot of people abuse it. They're like, oh, I have all this money lying around. I already have $1 million estate. Some people don't want to
I already
get involved
I
in
already
stocks
reached
or stuff
and
like
accomplished my dream. What next?
that. Yeah, they're like,
What
what can make me feel good? And that, for some people, that's the answer. You know, it numbs everything. So, like, some people might have zero
So
privacy nowadays.
on Jubilee, they had some millionaires go up and talk about like,
I watched that
what,
video.
we have all this money. What are we going to do now? And one of them said, "Well, I know some people haven't found this part once they become a millionaire like me, but I found that I enjoyed the journey more than what I got from the journey. So I've learned, because I know I enjoy the journey, I find bigger goals and stuff, and I remind myself when I accomplish a journey to look back, look how far I've gone." And that's where it's like, if you can reach that mindset on look how far I've gone, instead of work on these prizes, does this make me feel good? Like, look at the journey, like, wow, look how far I've gone.
For sure, yeah. I think it's cool, like, being able to get a good following and like have a lot of people that like you and like what you do. I think that's
Look
really
up to
cool.
you.
And I think that there are different people in this world that use that in different ways. And I think people make things way too complicated these days. Like, there are books out there on like how to get rich quick and how to do this and how to do that. And I don't recommend it, you know?
Yes,
because
Andrew?
like
No, I'm just
Sorry.
saying I make things complicated when I try to talk.
Sorry.
Just Savannah looks at me like,
Seriously.
Yeah.
it's a podcast, we talk.
no, I
This is why I
overcomplicate
created
things,
the
okay?
podcast.
We
is
know,
to get-
Andrew. Trust me,
Alright.
I know.
All right, Andrew,
Raising your
one thing,
hand.
I know you're new to this, but we created the podcast, one, is to get real, because there are some
Yeah,
subjects that need to be spoken
I know,
about and
I'm
need to be
just
real.
joking around. Calm it down, please. Don't force your anger towards me.
Podcast,
But it's not
Podcast
okay.
is
I
our
get you're
baby.
joking, but it's not like it's not received as a joke.
yeah.
Anyway, all right. I think it was a good podcast, guys. Yeah,
Yes,
good
we'll learn some
combos.
more.
Good combos. Comment down below. Let us know what you think of Marvel
Of
vs.
all the
DC.
subjects
Marvel or
we
DC. Give us
What's
some
your favorite
reasonings.
character of each? What you would like to see in the future? All the questions that we asked, if you wouldn't mind asking yourself and commenting down below. That'd be nice. And
We'd love to hear your opinions and your point of view on a lot of these topics and stuff, because it's real.
DC's
Yeah.
better.
Marvel's better.
It's not even a conversation now.
Exactly, because we
one.
proved DC's better.
No, because we proved.
I don't know if you're saying we, but okay.
all the people who like DC.
Like, Savannah and I can say we, but there's not
No,
another
all the
person
people who
to
like
agree
DC
with
that
you.
is watching this video agree with me, okay?
Okay.
Alright.
All right.
Well, I
Keep
hope y'all
telling yourself
enjoyed hope y'all enjoyed this episode of the podcast. Y'all have anything to say
Please
before we close off?
Please, if you'd like to leave a like or a comment, please leave a comment. I love reading comments. Stay safe, and we hope to see you Wednesday, I think.
Yes. Yes.
Bye.
Bye.